July 21st, 2023, Nassau, Bahamas. A police detective opens a WhatsApp conversation on a seized mobile phone. He reads the messages once, then reads them again. On the screen, photographs of a man, a real person, a living husband and father. Beneath the photographs, 2 words. Kill him. In less than 24 hours, 3 people are in handcuffs. The intended victim is still alive, barely aware of how close he came to dying in paradise. The woman who allegedly sent those 2 words is not a career criminal. She is not from the streets. She is a former beauty queen, an Auburn University cheerleader, a mother of 3 boys, a woman who once posted on Instagram about her perfect marriage, a woman who drove to the Bahamas in a private jet, stayed in a luxury vacation compound at a members-only golf resort, and, according to Bahamian prosecutors, ordered a hitman to kill her estranged husband before the week was out. This is not fiction. This is not a thriller series on Netflix. This is a real criminal trial currently unfolding inside a Nassau courtroom in 2026. And the deeper you go into this story, the more you realize almost everything about this case is not what it appeared to be. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to Auburn, Alabama. The year is 2007. Robert Shiver is a walk-on football player at Auburn University. He earns a scholarship. He works his way to team captain. He plays long snapper for the Auburn Tigers from 2006 to 2008. In 2009, he signs with the NFL's Atlanta Falcons as an undrafted free agent. Lindsay Shiver is an Auburn cheerleader. In 2005, she was crowned Miss Houston County, Alabama. She placed 2nd runner-up in the National Peanut Festival pageant the same year. They meet in a fitness class at Auburn in 2007. They fall in love. On March the 6th, 2010, they marry. By outward appearances, their life is extraordinary. A 7,900 square foot gated mansion in Thomasville, Georgia, valued at $2.5 million. A private vacation home at Baker's Bay Golf and Ocean Club in the Bahamas, a members-only island compound. 3 young boys. A private jet. Robert, now executive vice president of Senior Life Insurance Company, builds a successful post-football career. Lindsay is active in the community, active on social media, curated, polished. In 2020, she posts a wedding photo. The caption reads, "The key to a perfect marriage is having 2 imperfect people who refuse to give up on each other." 3 years later, she will allegedly send a hitman the photographs of that same husband with 2 words attached. The timing was not a coincidence. By early 2023, the marriage is falling apart. Robert files for divorce on April 5th, 2023. In court filings, he cites adulterous conduct and states the marriage is irretrievably broken. He claims Lindsay has been having an affair with Terrence Bethel, a 28-year-old bartender she met during trips to the Bahamas. Lindsay fires back. Her filings allege physical and mental cruel treatment, including accusations of domestic violence. She claims any new relationship began after the separation. The divorce becomes bitter. Children, money, the mansion, the vacation home, all of it contested. On July 16, 2023, police body camera footage captures a confrontation at their Thomasville home. Lindsay calls 911 on Robert. She tells officers she wants to travel to the Bahamas. Robert tells police she is going to see her boyfriend. An officer advises them not to travel together. They travel anyway, separately. 5 days later, on July 21st, 2023, Bahamian police are investigating an unrelated break-in at Grabber's Bed Bar and Grill in the Abaco Islands. On a suspect's confiscated phone, they find something they were not looking for. WhatsApp messages, a group chat. 3 participants, Lindsay Shiver, Terrence Bethel, and Bethel's 29-year-old friend, Farron Newbold Jr. According to Bahamian authorities, the messages contain photographs of Robert Shiver, and according to prosecutors, a message from Lindsay containing 2 words, "Kill him." Farron Newbold Jr. is the alleged hired hitman. Robert Shiver goes to Bahamian police out of fear for his life. He tells them he has learned of the plot. He says he fears for himself and for his children. That same day, all three are arrested. Lindsay Shiver, Terrence Bethel, and Farron Newbold Jr. are flown to Nassau and charged with conspiracy to commit murder. This was not a misunderstanding. According to prosecutors, Lindsay confessed during a police interview to sending the photographs of her husband and sending the directive that followed. The case explodes across American media. The story has everything the algorithm demands: beauty queen, NFL player, tropical betrayal, a hitman discovered by accident during an unrelated break-in. It is plastered across CNN, Fox News, ABC, the Daily Mail, and every true crime podcast with a microphone. In August 2023, Lindsay is granted $100,000 bail and released from Fox Hill Prison in Nassau on the condition she wears an ankle monitor and surrenders her passport. But what Lindsay's legal team did not anticipate was what came next. In October 2024, Lindsay and Terrence Bethel agree to separate television interviews. Lindsay speaks to Good Morning America. Bethel speaks to Inside Edition. Both go to air. Bahamian Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson is furious. She calls the media appearances a blatant disregard for the court's leniency and indulgence. Bail is revoked for both Lindsay and Bethel. They are returned to Fox Hill Prison. Months later, bail is reinstated, on the condition both observe a strict gag order and maintain complete silence. The trial is delayed, then delayed again, then again. By August 2025, it has been postponed 4 times. The 4th postponement pushes the trial to March 2, 2026 in Nassau. All 3 defendants, Lindsay Shiver, Terrence Bethel, and Farron Newbold Jr., have formally pleaded not guilty. As of March 2026, the trial has officially begun. The verdict is still pending. Here is what most coverage glosses over. The murder plot was not discovered through brilliant police work. It was not uncovered by a tip-off or a surveillance operation or a diligent detective. It was found by accident and it's out on a stranger's phone during an entirely unrelated criminal investigation, which raises a question the U.S. media has barely asked. How close did this come to never being discovered at all? Robert Shiver was at the same Bahamas resort as an alleged hitman. According to court documents, the plan was already in motion. Had investigators been looking at a different phone or searched a different device, Robert Shiver might never have gone to the police. The hitman might have completed his assignment, and Lindsay Shiver might have returned to Thomasville, Georgia, a widow, with sole custody of 3 boys, the $2.5 million mansion, and the vacation home at Baker's Bay. The financial stakes were considerable. The divorce filings show a high net worth dispute. Thomasville is a tight, elite community. Custody of 3 children was contested. The Bahamas home represented a lifestyle, an identity, and a significant asset. There is also a detail that has received almost no scrutiny in mainstream U.S. coverage. Lindsay Shiver was subsequently linked, by local reports, to a further alleged incident with a new boyfriend in Alabama. While those separate allegations remain unverified and Lindsay has not been charged in connection with them, the pattern of reported behavior around her has drawn significant attention from legal commentators following the trial. This is not the story of a simple crime of passion. According to prosecutors, this was a premeditated, coordinated conspiracy involving 3 people, a messaging platform, and photographs delivered like a contract. The Lindsay Shiver trial matters well beyond the tabloid headlines. First, it is taking place in the Bahamas, under Bahamian law, in a Bahamian court. Lindsay Shiver is an American citizen on trial in a foreign jurisdiction. That is unusual. That matters for the outcome. Sentences and legal procedures differ substantially from what American audiences expect. Second, the core evidence is a WhatsApp message, 2 words on a screen. The defense will argue those words were sent in anger, the language of a furious woman in a failing marriage, not the instruction of a murder conspirator. Prosecutors will argue they were received as an order, acted upon, and corroborated by the presence of the alleged hitman at the scene. Third, the case is a mirror held up to a world of curated perfection. A private jet, a resort compound, an Instagram caption about the perfect marriage. Behind all of it, allegedly, the woman who, according to prosecutors, decided that the fastest way to end a marriage was to end the man. If Lindsay Shiver is convicted, she faces the possibility of a lengthy custodial sentence in the Bahamian justice system far from her children and her community in Georgia. Robert Shiver, who has already begun a new relationship and maintains custody of their 3 boys, will have to live the rest of his life knowing what was allegedly planned for him on that island. And 3 young children, who had no say in any of this, will grow up in the shadow of a case that began with a fitness class at Auburn University and ended in a Nassau courtroom. So what does this story actually tell us? Layer 1, the visible story, a collapsing marriage, a secret affair, and an alleged 2-word instruction that nearly ended a man's life. Layer 2, the systemic story, a high net worth divorce, custody of children, contested assets, and a system in which the wealthier the couple, the more catastrophic the collapse. Layer 3, the question nobody wants to answer. How many times does the evidence get found by accident? How many times does the phone on the table belong to the wrong suspect for the wrong crime, and the real crime goes unseen? Robert Shiver told a Bahamian judge in December 2023 that he was thankful to be alive. That sentence should not be as ordinary as it sounds. This was not an accident. The plan was real. The hitman was there, the messages were sent, and if not for a bar break-in on a small Bahamian island, a completely unrelated crime, we would not be telling this story today. We would be telling a very different one. Let us know in the comments what you think. Was this a carefully planned conspiracy, or a message sent in rage that spiraled beyond all control? And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching.